Okay, I'm going to continue with this recording. Sort of halfway through a session, which has been very eventful. I've played kind of lively, much livelier than I did in my other videos, and with somewhat mixed success. A couple of bluffs that have not gone well. I can't even remember on this right-hand table how I lost half my stack. I'll have to try and look back. I think it might have been an unsuccessful bluff. Yes, it was. Yeah, I bluffed into a guy who had a flush when I had the ace of clubs. So I was representing a flush. Unfortunately, my opponent had a flush, which is never good. A little bit too much of this, just raising and not connecting. I think when they both check twice, then we can probably have a stab at the turn. Not representing a whole hell of a lot, but it's just if they don't have anything and show no interest, sometimes just have a stab. And open the queen jack on the button. See quite a bit of this today, limping from people. It's just sort of unusual these days. Generally, it's not something you see much of. People just, when they enter the pot, they raise or they don't enter. Queen jack off. This is pretty loose from this position, but given that you don't get three bet that much, it probably makes sense. And 7-6 of spades again, a little bit loose. And we get a nice flop. I'm going to check. I would check this board quite a lot. Well, I'm going to bet this, even though he's very like to have ace high quite a bit, but he could easily have like a couple of Broadway cards that don't like it. So a small bet there, I think, makes sense. And in position with the fours, certainly going to at least call. And going to call. I guess we're just going to bet really small here. If he has hands like ace high, he'll probably call, but I don't think he'll just raise us willy-nilly. We get a great river. Now I think I'm just going to overbet. No, I'll just bet pot. If he has a king, I don't think he's going to fold it. Probably if he folds that fast, we just had the best hand anyway. Open the queens, open the threes. A quick call from the big blind. Someone on a small stack. I think is kind of either going to play or they're not, so we may as well just raise with top set. He slopped the flush. There's not much we can do about it. Yeah, disappointing. Of course, if it's only two of the same suit there, I'm pretty sure I would just call and take my chances. But when it's monotone like that, I don't think I can just call. I think I have to try and raise and get some chips in. I'm going to 3-bet king queen here. It's a fairly small open. And small blind, we want to go quite big with our 3-bet. And we'll just bet small on the right. And I would just kind of bet small with my range on this board. Really does suit me more than him. This really hits a 3-better hard. He could easily have a weaker. He could have like Jack 10, Queen 10 makes a straight, Queen Jack. He could have that. I think we have to check this now. Don't really want to just triple it off. I think we're up against an ace quite frequently. He may have the same hand. That's certainly a possibility. I'm not sure there's a lot of value in betting. Yeah. It's one of the better scenarios, really. And we haven't 3-bet too much in the small blinds, so I'm going to 3-bet here against the button open. It's snapped. We get a pretty favourable board. I think I'm just going to go a third on this. And now I think we want to start probably checking. I don't think we can get 3 streets with this. He's certainly got lots of hands like jacks, 10s, 8s. He's also got better hands. He's got ace queen, queen jack. We can beat a lot. So, but we're going to just check here and certainly going to call this. No way I'm going to fold. Probably going to have to call most river bets as well. That's a shit card. You could also have like ace 4, ace 5. Those are also possible hands. Oh well. We had to call there. People don't generally take that long with a bluff, but I don't see how I can really fold that hand. And it shows you that people are bluffing more than you think. So I'm actually going to rat hole my stack and get up a fresh table with 100 big blinds. I'm not that comfortable playing this deep. So we will just record the fact that how much we've won. And get up a new table. So just get ourselves a new table up. Hold on a second. I am very slow. Okay. Okay, so let's just okay, I think that other table is now there. I'm actually just going to move the tables so they are on the same side on the recording as I'm playing. Sorry, it's all a bit amateurish this. I am pretty hopeless at this recording stuff. Makes you wonder why I bother, really. Deuces is a bit of a loose open, but like I say, I don't think we're getting 3-betting as much as people don't 3-bet anywhere near as much as they ought to. I think there are quite a few blinds just to be stolen. Plus, if we do raise and catch a deuce, we might win a big flop. But then again, pigs might fly, and we get a very, very good flop here. Flop full house. Our opponent's decided to take his time, and he does raise us. So I think here we're just going to call, and now we're going to check. 3-bet the king queen on the right. Right. I guess people aren't going to bet this large. I don't think people bet this big too often unless they have a hand. So I think we're actually just going to shove. That may be a little optimistic. In fact, that's probably just plain dumb. We should just call there and let him bluff off. I think I get a little bit too worried about the river being 5 or a 9. So now it's kind of pathetic. But at least when you shove there, you do avoid that disaster. But that was bad. I think the better play there is just to it's just a call. You don't need to raise. Ace jack off, we're going to fold. So there, I think I need to really just not be so worried about bad river cards. I think it's just when you have it happen to you a lot, when you have deuce like I had earlier with the aces against 9-7, you get the shitty river. Become a little bit terrified and just overplay hands when you do have a big hand. So that was just a bad play. Whether or not he would have bluffed the river, I don't know. But we should have given him a chance. So that was a bad play. And we get 3-bet. Could go any way with this. I'm actually going to try a 4-bet bluff. Don't do it much, but we're going to try one. I don't think King 10 of clubs is the world's worst candidate. We get called, and we get a interesting flop. I'm going to go just a quarter pot in a 4-bet pot. And we get a very satisfactory result. We did not want to see a shove there. I'm going to start. I do rat hole the stacks if I do get a double up. I don't tend to do it until I get to about 200 big blinds. Sometimes I'll do it if I get like 180 or something like that. I don't ever want to play 200 big blinds deep. You can see that I'm not the strongest player at 100 big blinds. With queens here, I'm going to just call and get a shit flop. We're certainly going to call once, not going to fold just one bet, but clearly it's just not the board we wanted. That's certainly not the turn we wanted either. So we can still be winning. He can certainly have hands like tens, jack. I don't know if there's a great deal of merit in betting. That card doesn't really change a great deal. The stuff that we were losing to, we're still losing to. The 3-bet here with Queen 10 of hearts. The Pocket Kings we already lost, so I don't know if he's going to bet with like tens or jacks. I think he's probably just going to give those hands up. So unfortunately, my queens here look like they're just toast. I just don't see this being a bluff anywhere near often enough. So a shame there. Pocket fours. We'll do something we don't do much of now, which is cool. I don't think this is necessarily a great play, But I think when people are playing like I am over here, they're playing a fraction of a stack, not always the strongest players, and we do get a very nice board. So let's hope somebody's got King Queen or something. A board where you'd imagine that somebody's going to have something and everyone's checking. We'll just bet quite large here. It's just like if people have something on this board. Going to 3-bet the jacks. And we'll call off. And we're up against kings. Yay. So I guess we're just going to bet large here. And we lose with our jacks. So we'll call it a session there. Quite an event, reasonably eventful, quite a short video this time, only about 15 minutes or so, but there was some good stuff in there. And we'll see you in the next video.